meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Dr. Drew Pinsky.
A guy on a radio station named Psycho Mike.
Dr. Drew has his work cut out for him.
Loveline with Dr. Drew and Psycho Mike. 1-800-LOVE-191.
Oh, we're not stopping. We're just getting started.
Yeah! 1-800-LOVE 191 is the number. It's Loveline, of course. I am your host, Psycho Mike Catherwood. But more importantly, to my left, my partner, my friend, my lover.
Vegas partner.
My lover. Dr. Drew Pinsky, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. In short, that means you can take your problems, kick them right in the ass. Our guests tonight, two very talented musicians, a part of one of the biggest bands in the world. Tender touch to both of them, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of lovers.
Thank you.
Brad and Chester from the band Linkin Park.
Woo!
Yes.
Loveline.
Excuse me, Mike, I want you to know.
Yes.
Last time Chester was up here, he was up with his wife, and I was in Washington, D.C. at the time.
Yep.
And that evening, we discovered a new pleasure.
Uh-oh.
Dude,
Oh, no.
I actually gagged.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Chester gagged. His wife shrieked. The practice, which I'd never heard of until the very night Chester was last year.
This is so not cool. I actually called Chester on the phone earlier tonight, and I said,
Please don't talk about that.
I have one condition.
Well, let me
if you
explain it to
bring
Mike.
up this, whatever you're going to say right now, which I was successful in covering my ears the whole time last time. It's just, this is like, it took you like 30 seconds.
Well, because I was having a flashback. I've got post-traumatic stress disorder from that evening.
Chester, the message was from Chester. Will I join him tonight? And I thought, oh yeah, that'd be fun to hang out with Chester. And my second thought was, they're going to talk about this thing.
Yes.
And it's going to be miserable.
Yeah.
And I called him, and he's been true to his word. He didn't bring it up.
Well, let's forget it. Forget it. I don't want to talk about it. No. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it.
But one of the great things was, and this is why it's so, I think why it keeps coming back, is because how often do you get to be part of the first time?
Right.
Something
Especially on a show like this where we've heard everything.
Yeah, for so long.
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that there
was something,
exists. Yeah.
And Sadie knew all about it.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Okay, can I guess?
Yes.
It's something Sadie knows all about.
Wait, are you okay?
Freaks,
phones are going off.
Freaks Mr. Delson out. Freaks Mr. Delson out to the point that he has to take his earphones off. Sadie knows all about it. Was it sounding?
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
Really
There
good.
it is.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
Wow, that acid didn't change the intellect, did it?
No, well, like...
Or were you having a flashback in this moment? Or?
Listen. Like, my long-term memory gone. My ability to focus on things gone. But when it's time to step my game up, when it's really time to rise to the occasion...
When something really important happens.
Yeah, like putting vibrating rods in your wiener.
Which is what sounding is. Metal rods, graduated rods, and we can now leave this topic alone.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're done. Yeah, it's safe.
Okay.
You can stop humming.
Your muff's off.
Okay. All right, look, let's talk about good things.
Yes.
Let's talk about 1,000 Suns. The new Linkin Park album, September 14th. It'll be available everywhere. Gentlemen, if I could... if I assume that the album sounds a lot like the single we've heard, The Catalyst, it's a totally different direction for you guys.
It's a good representation, I think, of where the band is at musically, but I feel like the album is so diverse that it doesn't really represent the entire album as a whole. The record really goes through a lot of ups and downs and peaks and valleys, both instrumentally and lyrically, and there's a lot. The album is actually really supposed to be listened to from the beginning to the end and as one kind of experience, and that's just a little glimpse of the whole experience.
Right. And I mean, whenever a band goes into the studio to make what isn't their debut album, if you're going to make a follow-up, you always have to take into consideration how the previous album was received. But when you're a band like Linkin Park, who's had the amount of commercial success that you guys have had, I think there's an added kind of stress or burden, right, to keep that success going, but at the same time, try to stimulate yourselves as musicians and maybe go in a different direction and do things that you've never done before. Is there a kind of a conflict between wanting to please the fans and give them Linkin Park music, but at the same time do something that makes you guys happy as musicians?
I think it was liberating in a sense because we know we're never going to be able to live up to so many people's expectations of what we should be, that ultimately we can only try to live up to the 6 of our expectations of what we should be. And I think what excites us as musicians is the opportunity and the challenge of always trying to do something new and trying to evolve the band and take risks. And that was really the premise on which we started 2 years ago in creating this album, was to be 100% committed, all 6 of us, to doing something that we thought would be artistically honest, irrespective of anyone else's expectations. And there were definitely tests along the way, whereas you were saying, like, we could have taken the safer route, or we could have hedged our bets. And fortunately, there are guys in the band that really didn't let that happen.
Right.
And so what you hear with 1,000 Suns is a really sincere artistic outpouring. And as Chester said earlier, we were talking, it really does represent who Linkin Park is today.
Cool, cool. That is the voice of Brad Delson, guitar player for Linkin Park. He is joined by his lead singer, Chester Bennington. 1,000 Suns, the new album available everywhere September 14th. Dr. Drew, yes?
Yeah, Mike,
you have a puzzled look on your face.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, you've been in recovery how long now, 8 years?
Yeah.
In order to sustain recovery, you had to work rigorous honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Something you want to tell me about that last declaration about sounding?
No. I mean,
what's that say on the computer? You didn't read that? That wasn't where you got tipped off?
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Okay, good. All right.
I can just assume when it comes to stuff, you kind of gave it away.
Yeah, I'm sure.
When you said Sadie knows all about it,
so that's still pretty good. If pretty good.
If there's gonna,
we're not talking about it.
If it's something Sadie knows about, it has to do with
piercing
or tattoo.
Oh, I thought you would have gone that direction. Sounding pretty good.
No, good. And the only reason I could deduce that it was sounding is because it was something that you 3 gentlemen had never heard before.
And we were vomiting.
And I knew that was the only thing that when I joined the show, I had never heard before.
Oh, good. Interesting.
Because usually when I'm on here, I'm always grossed out by the anal calls.
Oh,
because that is
funny
something that is so horrifying to me.
All right. I was going to take a question for the band, but let's get right into the anal fun. Nicole, how are you?
Hi, I'm so good.
What's up, Nicole?
Not much. So my girlfriend, we have sex, but, like, she's kind of hinting to me that she wants it up the ass.
All right, well, you say your girlfriend, so you guys are lesbians, and that's all good. When you say we have sex, what
does that mean?
Like, do you strap one on, or do you typically just stick with the cunnilingus?
Oh, no, we sew strap-on on.
Oh, you sew strap-on. Okay, so you...
Yeah!
When you say...
I'm a country girl, so we'll be making fun now.
No, that's...
I'm all for it.
When you say she hints that she wants to go backdoor, how does one hint at it?
She just kind of like, when we'll be having sex or something, she'll look down at me and just kind of like...
And that brown eye winks at you?
Kind of, but she's Hazel, so...
Never mind. See, Dr. Drew, the brown eyes.
I know, but our callers are so concrete. It's like, no, her eyes aren't brown, they're hazel. No,
we're talking about Mr. Winky. Mr. Winky, kind of flexes at you.
Do you have a problem doing it if she wants it?
Tell her Chester hates this topic.
No, I'm kind of shy toward it. Like, I want to, but at the same time, if I don't want to, like, hurt her because
Lots of lube.
Yeah, lubrication and enema prior to the...
And by the way, I never really thought about this. Another thing I don't think I've said on this show, but they're not sort of wedded to any particular anatomy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can adjust the size.
Yeah. What Dr. Drew's saying is that you could do whatever you want. I can only imagine. I can only imagine if every guy had the luxury of starting off with my penis, and then gradually working their way up to like the Dr. Drew veiny dong, and then by the end of the night you could go and graduate to the Shane Diesel Blackzilla, and then the Brad Delson and Chester Bennington destruction sticks, later on down the road, Russian nesting dolls, Dr. Drew. Finally, when you get to the end. You can do that. You have that luxury, Nicole. Start off with the AA battery dildo, and then you go back door, and then and then you have a couple shots of moonshine or whatever it is you do out there in Missouri. And next thing you know, you have the John Holmes Destroyer,
whatever
epoxy just below your belly button, and you're really driving it home.